Hey there, moving into the battles of World War II. First one we're going to talk about is the invasion of Poland. Invasion of Poland takes place September 1st of 1939. This is going to be using blitzkrieg warfare. Okay, so this is lightning warfare. This was a new method of war developed by the Nazis, where simply they are going to go incredibly fast and just go ahead and conquer everything very, very quick. You're gonna have your Panzer division go, and the tanks, okay, gonna go just ripping across right through there. You're gonna have your infantry soldiers come in very, very quick. You're gonna have planes bombing everything ahead of time. Very, very quick lightning warfare. Now, it's important to understand that this time period, Poland is drastically underprepared for an invasion. Poland has roughly 500,000 soldiers within their army compared to 100 or 1.5 million in the German army. Additionally, the Germans have panzers, okay, which are tanks compared to Poland literally still having cavalry soldiers. So this is men who ride on horseback and fight on horseback. Now you can imagine beautiful little horse over there like that is not going to do very well in a battle versus a panzer versus a tank. As you can imagine how Poland is very unprepared for this. There's a panzer, there's a horse. Which one's going to win that fight right through there? Okay, so what's going to happen though is this is going to allow the Poles to lose the war very, very quick, lose the battle very, very quick. There's also the geographic advantage of Germany. After Germany annexed Czechoslovakia, okay, they're going to surround Poland on three sides geographically. So Poland is pretty much in a chokehold by Nazi Germany, and they really have nowhere to go. If you can look on this map right up here, we see Poland right there. Czechoslovakia is going to be that little arm sticking up on the southern part of France, of Germany, excuse me, right through there. Poland, or Germany over there, really Poland is surrounded. Poland has nowhere to go, and they are going to quickly be invaded. The significance of this, though, is it's going to allow Britain and France to finally declare war on Nazi Germany. They got to the point where they're saying, no more appeasement. If you invade any other country, we are going to declare war, especially if you invade Poland. So what do the Nazis do? They invade Poland. Britain and France soon followed by declaring war. Shatter that screen. Next, we have invasion of France in May of 1940. Now, this is rapid and unexpected conquest of the Low Countries. Okay, so Belgium, France, that region right through there. They're called the Low Countries because elevation-wise, they're very, very low. Rapid and unexpected. Okay, no one really saw this one happening. They thought Germany invaded France during World War I. We saw how well that worked. It didn't. There's no reason they're going to do this again. Germany does it. It takes 4 weeks, and this is going to show the effectiveness and the mastery of German mobile warfare. It shows how effective this blitzkrieg strategy is going to be. This is significant for a number of reasons. Number one, France is now surrendered. Okay, France is no longer able to fight back. Their capital has been conquered. They are now controlled by the Nazis. This is going to allow Hitler to gain control over Western Europe. He's no longer just going to be controlling Germany and Eastern Europe as well. He's now going to control France, the Low Countries, and control the vast majority of Europe at this point, especially Western Europe. Italy is going to enter the war at this time period as well. They're going to enter as an ally of Germany right through in here. And then Russia itself is now threatened. Okay, previously, Russia and the Nazi Germany had made an agreement, the Ribbentrop-Molotov Mutual Non-Aggression Pact. Okay, that pact where they said, we're not going to invade each other, we'll just split Poland amongst ourselves. Okay, at this point, Stalin in the Soviet Union, Russia, realizes that this is no longer the war that we thought was going to happen is no longer going to happen. Remember, Soviet Union is communist. Stalin is hoping that these capitalist countries are going to fight amongst themselves and crush themselves and ultimately be defeated, allowing his communist country to rise and to prosper. At this point, he realizes this is no longer going to be the case. This is bigger and worse than we thought it was. Battle of Britain goes from August to September of 1940. This is going to be daytime air raids against the Royal Air Force, the RAF, bases in England, and later on they're going to be attacking London as well, the capital of England. They're hoping to gain air superiority and force the British to make peace. Okay, they're going to force Britain to make peace. This is their plan. Basically, the Nazis are thinking we invaded France, we forced the French to make peace, we can do the same kind of thing with the British. The Germans are actually preparing to invade the UK as well. However, this is not going to happen because the British had radar, okay? They could see an attack coming. They knew what was going to happen. They could then make sure that they had their defenses ready to go and that all their men and women living in the countryside near these areas, all their soldiers were at a safe location so the bombing would not actually harm them. Additionally, it's super important to understand that public morale did not crack, okay? The Germans were trying to destroy the public morale of the British, so therefore they basically have no more desire to fight and they surrender. This is not the case, okay? The British are very, very good at keeping their public morale up at this time period. They're going to fight back and they're willing to fight back. As a result of this, the Germans are going to switch from their daytime air raids to night bombing, okay, a more effective way. Thought they could maybe hide a little bit better, didn't really work, okay. It also adds that kind of additional way of cracking down your morale because you can't get a chance to sleep, which is going to be causing a lot of problems. If you don't sleep, you're going to be very angry and often have your morale crush. That's not going to happen. The significance at this time period is now the Americans are finally realizing that we can't really step out of this one. We got to get involved in some way, so they're going to send help over to the UK and help fight against the Nazis. Additionally, at this time period, Germany now decides they're going to invade the USSR. They are going to invade the Soviet Union. You see the sign right here, you see it all the time now, keep calm and carry on. This actually comes from the Battle of Britain. Okay, these signs would be put up telling the British citizens, just keep calm, keep doing what you're going to be doing, everything will be all right. Now, Operation Barbarossa, June and July of 1941. This is a surprise attack of the USSR, okay? This is going to be big because Hitler has now broken his treaty with Stalin to not fight one another. This is going to be the most devastating victory of the entire war. It's going to be largest battle in size of area. There's a huge battlefield at this time period. Additionally, there is huge Soviet losses. Pretty much the entire Red Army is decimated at this time period. It's going to force the Soviets back from the border of Poland, 600 miles to Leningrad and Moscow. So they're pushed way back at this time period. The Soviets are thinking this is not good. We might be conquered as well. Hitler thinks this is possible. Significance of Operation Barbarossa is number one, the Soviet Red Army has to be rebuilt. The army that the Soviets had before is no longer going to cut it. They're dead. They need new military at this time period. So this is going to kind of force the Soviets to not really be much of a threat for a while. Additionally, it's going to drive the Soviet Union into the war at this point. The Soviet Union previously was not a part of this war. Now they're going to be here. And ultimately, this is going to lead to Hitler's loss in the war, Hitler's loss in the battle. You can see here on the map, okay, it went from Poland, clear back to Leningrad, Moscow, and Stalingrad. Way back, about 600 miles, okay. Very, very important, very, very major. If you capture Moscow, you capture the capital, thus the Soviet Union falls. Okay, Moscow battle in 1941 is going to be the last one we're going to talk about right through now. The Red Army surprise counteroffensive near Moscow. Okay, so what's going to happen here is the Soviets are positioned. Okay, they're ready to go. They're ready to fight back against the Nazis and push. Significance of this is Blitzkrieg strategy of Hitler and his generals has now failed. The strategy of just lightning warfare, let's go back right there, is not working against the Soviets, okay? Additionally, it's going to turn the war into a war of attrition. One thing to remember about Germany is never get into a land war with Germany, or with Russia, excuse me. Never get into a land war with Russia. It's going to become a war of attrition. Who can last longer? The Third Reich, the Nazis simply cannot win a war of attrition. They cannot last longer in this kind of battle than the Soviets. That is all for today. If you have any questions, comment down below.